calculator. So if I want to get 15% of 200 is a very simple start point. How would I do this without a calculator? Harry. Okay, brilliant. We can do two main strategies. Harry's nailed one of them. One strategy is use percents you know. So it's very easy to get 10% of something, very easy to get 1% of something, 50% of something, pretty easy to get. 50% is half of something, 10% is 1/10, so just knock off a decimal place. 1% is 1 out of 100, so knock off 2 decimal places. So Harry's suggesting if I know 10% of something, 10% of 200 is what? 20. What's 1% of 200? Is 2. And how many 1% do I need? I need 5 of those. So if I multiply that by 5, I get 10. Add those two together, and I'm at my 15%. I have 10% and then a bunch of 1%. Put those together. So I've used the percents I know and can do in my head. That's one method. The answer is 30, yes. The second method then is a more methodical method, which is we should know how to do a fraction of an amount. So if I turn this into a fraction, 15 out of 100, and do of, we know is multiply as well, of 200, we can turn 200 into 201. We can do some sort of fraction operation, which you should be used to from the last thing we just done. Which I can pre-simplify is probably an idea here. If I could think of any simplifications I can do. For instance, what's the simplification of 15 over 100? 5 fits into both these 3 times, and many times into 100? 20 times. 5 fits in. Okay, you can multiply at any stage you want. For instance, this would be 600 divided by 20. I could have definitely done more simplification, but now I can simplify this. How many times does 20 fit into 6? Is there a need to distract? No. Okay, so many times does 20. We can simplify this fraction, divide by 10, and then 2 fits into 60 30 times. So we get the same answer for both. Let's do a second example, a more complicated percentage. 17% of, let's say, 84. Might be a whole number this time. It's definitely more difficult. How would I do 17% of 84? Which looks like the more useful method? The percentages we know or fractions? Fractions. Let's do both. Do it in blue this time. Okay. Fractions, 17 out of 100 multiplied by 84 over 1. So this requires me to multiply 17 times 84. Not sure I want to do that, but I can definitely do that. A long multiplication, 84 times 17. Multiply by 10, multiply by 7. 7 times 4 gives 28. Carry the 2 to the next column. 7 times 8, 56. Add the 2, I get 58. I put a 0 because I'm multiplying by 10. That's 840. 8, 12, carry the 1. We are on, what's this? 5, 8, and 1, 14. 1428 is the top line. 1428 all over what? 100. And then dividing by 100. How do I divide by 100 easily? I move the decimal place. How many spots? 2 spots. And I get 14.28. Is it better to leave it as a fraction or a decimal in these particular cases? I think the more real world answer is a decimal. Usually when we're dealing with percentages, we're usually dealing with money to start off with, and money is a decimal. You never say that something costs 2/5 of a dollar, for example. You would say 40 cents if you're using dollars. So that's one method. Will it work with the other method? It should. So 10% is easy, always easy to get. What's 10%? 8.4. Maybe 1% again. What's 1%? 0.84. I need 7 of those 1%, so I still need to multiply by 7, or what's an alternate percentage I could use here? What's 5%? Wouldn't it be half of 10%? So 4.2, all right. Now I just need another 1%, so that's my 17%, 0.84, and I can do this addition. I just put some zeros here at the end, and I just do an addition straight down. 0, 4, that's 8, 4, 8, 2, 8. What do I get? 22. Carry the 2 over, and I get 14 here. That's the same answer I got here. Okay, so what did I do? I looked at percentages that were easy to work with. So 1, 10, 5, sometimes 20% is easy to work with because 20% would have been double that. Maybe I could have done some subtractions. Okay, so that is how we do percentage of amounts, not using a calculator. Maybe take one of these down as an example now, either this one or this one, so we have an example in your notes.